You know, Euro nymphing or tight line nymphing has become one of those popular ways and effective ways of catching fish. You know, the object of Euro nymphing is to keep as much line out of the water as possible. You want to use weighted flies or some weight to get that fly down there, and you're not doing any mending, using relatively short casts where you're going to follow the fly down with the tip of your pole, and you want your tip of your fly line or your leader and look for any twitch, pause, and you're just going to pick up the line like a casting again. Sometimes there'll be a fish on the end. So we want to keep our line out of the water so that the different currents between you and where the fish are aren't pulling on the line, aren't giving that fly an unnatural presentation. So you can see you're really extending your arm out over the water. Now, your typical 5/6 top of the line fly reel is going to weigh close to 7 ounces once you've got backing and your floating fly line on there. Start fishing, get it wet. Now you've got a ½ pound you're having to hold out over the water. So with the Rexfly system, you can see the reel's mounted on my chest. I'm not having to keep the weight of the reel out over the water. And when I do hook a fish, I can reattach the reel anytime I want, simply by sliding it on. It automatically disengages from your chest, and you've got your reel on there just as you normally would. Now, I think one of the biggest advantages also of the Rexfly is once you land that fish, you can just set your pole back on your chest and use it as a rod holder. Now you've got both hands free to be able to unhook that fish, or whether you need to tie on a leader, tie on a new fly, you've got both hands free without setting that rod in the mud and the rocks and the water, throwing in a bush, holding between your legs. You know, we've hopefully you haven't had situations like this, but you drop a fly reel, you can set it down too hard. Now, these things are made to be so light, you ding up that spool, and now your reel is catching as you retrieve it, or it's making funny noises. It's just not a good thing. You're ending up having to buy a new spool for that reel. This way, you keep your reel in a safe position on your chest, and you keep it clean, you keep it out of the mud, the dirt, the sand, the rocks, and you have both your hands free to do what you need to do. And that's the Rexfly system, and that's how I Euro nymph. There's certainly other ways to do it, but that's how it works for me. I found it to be a great way of catching fish, and I hope you can get out there and enjoy some great fly fishing. Thanks.